So in a hadith Qudsi, we were taught, very long hadith, in the line of doing our duty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, Allah inna awliya, Allah la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun, as Allah says here, Surah Yunus, chapter 10, verse 62, the friends of Allah will have no fear and nothing to grieve over. Hear what this hadith synopsis says. Allah says, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, that Allah says, which is called a hadith Qudsi. He says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that if anyone is bad, hostile, insultive, abusive, or in any way try to harm someone that is the friend of Allah, Allah says, I will wage war against that person. That's a deep hadith. That's not just a hadith. That's not a saying of the Prophet. In the line of hadith, it's called a hadith Qudsi, that the Prophet says that Allah says this. You know what a promise that is? What is Allah saying? That anyone who tries to hurt my friend, someone who lives by the Quran, who obeys Allah. And then the hadith went on to say, someone who is that friend of Allah, someone who fulfills the obligatory duties and make every effort to do voluntary duties to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You follow that? Someone who fulfills the basics, but then does every possible effort to do voluntary good deeds for Allah to love that person, for the pleasure of Allah, for the love of Allah. Allah says, that's my friend. And anyone who tries to harm that person, Allah says, I will wage war against that person. Do you know what it means by Allah will wage war on that person? What does that mean? Allah will deal with that person. You don't need an army. You don't need anything. Allah has promised He will deal with that person. Allahu Akbar.